What is up, you wonderful people of YouTube? This is El Jefe, bringing you my most recent edition of Mono Black, which just went about 8-2 with in Mythic. Or really, it was 2 losses and then 8 wins in a row after making a couple tweaks to the deck to make it a little bit more consistent. Really, at this point, while I was laddering, did a lot of it with more decks that were, I'd say, totally original, but obviously that makes it tougher since there's just a lot of powerful-ish on the ladder at the moment, whether it's super aggro with mono white or Naya runes or Naya humans, or just is it control, Jeskai control. Just a pretty tough meta, I would say, to consistently be brewing new stuff daily to try to bring, especially into Mythic. So went back to one of my my staples, some of my roots, which is Mono Black. And I know, obviously, Malone claims to be the master of Mono Black, but CGB's got Azorius, and frankly, both of those two are the main 2 places I've lived for the last year or so on Arena. So we're going to do our best to go and assert our hat into the arena for both of those over time. So why don't we go in and look at what we've teched in. Couple interesting choices. So a lot of it's just the same old stuff you either know and love or know and loathe. Biggest thing for me was working in 4 Invoke Despairs. Really just an absolute oppressive beater of a card. It's obviously removal and gets you some card draw while it's doing some damage. It's really just it's an absolutely complete card, so long as you can easily float the 4 black mana, which Mono Black obviously has no issues with. For Lolth, I think people have been a little bit more off her of late, since there's a bunch of good removal floating around in the meta right now. So, but frankly, if we're just looking at Mono Black and we're not splashing in either white or green for other stuff, I really think Lolth, it has to be carrying the big portion of the load on her shoulders, and what funky shoulders they are. So that's, I'd say, really the meat of the deck. I worked in a second Sorin just because, if it ever persists, we'll talk about is it in a second, but if it ever persists, it's either just a body that gets you a little bit of life, or it's once again something that's drawing you a card every turn. And this whole deck, very few cards, I would say, like for the mana slot, are the best card of that slot. Realistically, like Lolth's one of the better 5-drops. Sorin is obviously a good 4-drop. Professor Onyx is expensive at 6, but obviously does help get the job done. But aside from that, Meat Hook and Blood on the Snow are great, but Mono Black is not a sheer power card, or color, I should say. And so we need a lot of cohesion in here, and we need to never run out of steam, all right? And so that's really where the Planeswalker package comes in. The early deck, as you've seen it a lot recently, Blood Money was really just one of the easiest ways to get a little bit of defenses down early. Things like Thalia really hate attacking into Shambling Gas. You can really just stall up an early board with one little 1/1. That's ultimately also ideally giving us some ramp. 2 Dockside Chef. Mostly, as you'll see, we need a little bit of enchantment synergy in here, but it's also just a real strong 1/1 or 1-cost creature card that's able to sack anything that's about to die and get us deeper into our deck. 4 Deadly Disputes, we know why those are important. Get some extra cards, get a little bit of treasure, and just skirt around their removal. You will notice there's also 2 Skullport Merchants, 2 Celestis, because it is fantastic if we can get 2 on turn 4 with 5 mana. That can really put us ahead. Obviously, we've known about the occasional god draw of Shambling Gas into Deadly Dispute into Lolth turn 3. There's virtually no better play pattern that exists. I don't even, you can get Goldspan down with Magda and Sentinel on turn 3, but Lolth's still better than that. So realistically, a lot of early, a little bit of ramp, but just defenses. Ideally trying to ramp us into our later game plays that'll just keep the cards flowing into our hand and keep a persistent board state up. We know Meat Hook, we know Blood on the Snow. Just 2 Blood on the Snows, honestly, because, you know, really I think it's there when you need it, but especially mono white in particular, just all of the taxes that can come in. Blood on the Snow can be completely isolated out of the entire game for way too long if you don't have much else to defend yourself with. Part of that is why we teched into March of Wretched Sorrow. Just a great single removal. Notice it can hit Planeswalkers. One of the reasons why I'm a little bit off Infernal Grasp is that against purely creature aggro, occasionally that 2 life can be the game, and it can't hit anything else. And so I prefer take care of the creatures with Meat Hook, Blood on the Snow, and our other package of, I'd say, Gum Up board state. But March of Wretched Sorrow, a little bit of life gain, can come down, and, you know, you can also cast it, I'd say, like mana deficient. You know, we can exile, since all of our cards are black, unlike when this is running Orzhov or, you know, even in Esper decks, right? You're kind of at the mercy of your mana pool. In a pinch, we can go and, you know, whether it's a Hullbreaker Horror that they think we're too tapped out to kill, or, you know, really just any aggressive threat, can ping it down, gain a good amount of life, especially late game, right? We can gain 7, 8, 9 life off of this. Soul Transfer is one of the reasons, along with one of these lands, Roadside Reliquary. For Roadside Reliquary, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, when you sack it, can draw 2 cards. Doesn't come up a ton, but it certainly did in one of the games that's recorded in these in this session. So I think for a 1-of, yeah, it's not a snow land, but there's only 2 Blood on the Snows. It's not like we're absolutely relying on Blood on the Snow to do all the work in this deck. And for Soul Transfer, if we have both an artifact and an enchantment when we cast it, we both get to remove a creature or planeswalker and bring one back to our hand. So a little bit of double coverage for Soul Transfer, but also gives us removal early if we need it. So honestly, the whole thing works decently well. And yeah, in terms of lands, we are at a total of 26, no DFCs whatsoever. But we have 4 Hive of the Eye Tyrants, 20 Snow Covereds, 1 Takenuma, and 1 Roadside Reliquary. So, you know, my guess is you've been seeing some iteration of this deck for the last, you know, 9 months or so, really since Standard 2022 came out. And I just wanted to jump back into it because it's pretty straightforward, but it's a deck I've always enjoyed, and is a deck that I think I am pretty efficient at piloting. So hope you enjoy the games. It's pretty much a blowout. I was just kind of messing around this morning and decided to flip the camera on because we couldn't lose. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Again, I am a new content creator. I've been averaging about 3 to 4 videos a week. You know, I'm not really shooting for like a big long streak like CGB, just because I got a lot of other independent business stuff going on, but definitely trying to be as consistent as possible posting these decks up. So if you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe button, it would really help me out. You know, I'm not even at the point where I'm asking for money, but as the channel's growing, you know, we're still in the 20s in terms of subscribers, and, you know, frankly, we're at, what is it? Already lost 5 ranks since recording this intro, but at around 600 Mythic running pure mono black. Where's that on the meta list? So I do hope you enjoy the games, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Peace. Well, I've had a bunch of sick games that for some reason I wasn't recording. Because we're dog sitting. We got some whiny puppies. Let's see if these ones go as well. 3 wins from 99%. One of them was like a 250-ish player, so. Against Izzet, too. No Hullbreaker, we did have Lear. So it was good. Mono white, not going to be the easiest. We're not going to attack. I'd rather be able to double block and make 2 tokens rather than... He's not going to attack anyway. Alright, so Naya Humans. It's a very good card. I'll do this right before... This is the cat something, but we'll do it right before there. Combat step, or we'll do it right now. Oh, game, you're too kind. Too kind. My one question for Naya Humans is how many Wandering Emperors they're able to fit in. You can swing now if you want to, but I don't think it's going to do much. Cool. Do we just invoke Despair now? Seems better, I guess, than just Deadly Disputing to kill a Spellbinder. We can probably... Yeah. He'll find a land, get 2 digs into the deck. That's gotta be worth. As it is, they can only put out 3 damage. I don't think they're attacking with Initiate. Alright. May as well swing now. No land is a problem, but we wouldn't have found it next turn either. As is. And with this we can meet Hook next turn. Let's see, like this. I mean, we could meet Hook for 1, but I'd rather just keep the treasure. Cancel, we get a damage in. Could matter. So keep the treasure, so actually Soul Transfer's online, not that we have anything in the graveyard for it. He's not a Planeswalker, but... See, he knows about Onyx. Don't care about Brutal Qatar or anything. Creature Planeswalker? Yeah. As we can get a gas back. It's really not that bad. Or we just drop Onyx now. Maybe we just drop Onyx now. Because they can't get rid of it. Definitely gonna drop the Thalia.
Witherbloom is just as dark and musty as I remember. This is my favorite part. Watch the life essence fade.
And this game looks done. Retain doesn't do anything because it'll get soul transferred. Thalia just makes this go off for a turn, so stops it for a turn if I get a land, but it seems unlikely I wouldn't find a land with an Onyx dig and the draw. That looks like a dead Sigarda. Yeah, okay. Lands.
I have impeccable study habits.
Yeah, that's game for you. There you go. Just triple deadly dispute to death. Alright, well, you know, look at that. Look at those wins. I think we switched the deck around a little bit after 2 losses. I think the change I had made too is go up to 4 Invoke Despairs, 4 Lolths, 2 Sorens. Probably just took out silly stuff. Damn. The opponent lives. Only had to get timered to start. I feel like Rune's player play this basic planes. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a cool planes. Foretells. It's interesting. Well, if they're foretelling... Eh, we got the other land, so... Even if it gets Jaward, we'd still be able to Sorin next turn. Orzhov. Yeah, it does have a very striking resemblance to a turn 3 Lolth. You know, Lolth is last favor, but
I will show you what
turn 3, kind of a menace. Go ahead and verse it if you can. Okay.
Oh, you'll
That's
fall
fine.
into my web again.
Alright, and next turn you could... Well, you can definitely Doomscar, so may as well just plus Sorin.
I am vengeance, bloody and righteous. Nothing on Innistrad is free.
What? Who was it? Watts. This is the Watts special right here. Alright. So we gained 4. So I guess we're just going to invoke Despair, so... Oh, dang it, forgot about Warlock class getting picked off. I think it's bad to get rid of, but... What do you think? Card or guy? He didn't hit his land. Maybe we should plus him. I can do something to Sorin in 2 turns. It's not a bad draw.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie's gotta go. Valkyrie's gonna go.
You
Oh,
wish to know
damn.
my secrets? Very well.
I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I think we're gonna Celestis and then March. Right? Not the thing we would have done. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, yeah. No, that still would have put us 1 short. Forget if I played a land yet or not. You know, people just don't let you dome people with 13 damage from Sorin too often. I guess I get it. Alright, Chef is not perfect one drop, but he's not bad either. I guess the question is, do we dispute it? I guess the answer is no, he's being held up as a blocker. That's pretty nice. Could have gone in and might have been able to get one, but that was fine. This is fine. Do we wait a turn or just do it now? I think we probably want to wait a turn. See what comes down next. Maybe the reason to do it then is we probably need to do it next turn, and then Kiki-Jiki just comes out the turn after, but Invoke Despair. Most likely the turn after that. Pitches Angel Fire Ignition. I think he will regret this. He will get a treasure out of it. Your goblin, nice. Nice! We're just gonna make a treasure, because everything's gonna die next turn anyway. Alright, and here, do we just... I feel like we kind of want to save the Deadly Dispute, since Chef can just dispute himself. Alright, something for Kiki-Jiki already. Or rather, I guess is whoever they go. What a waste. Read the room, bro. Read the room. And I think I'd like to get Hive down, but at the same time I don't really want him Angel Fire Ignitioning something. Yeah, like that. Just like that. And I'm gonna do this again. Alright, so they are gonna have, say, 1-drops. They can come out and smack me. That will not do it. Is he worth killing by himself? Dude, you are just Mr. Overcommit. Alright, so do this for 3. I wish that had tapped. Okay. Alright, and we will deadly dispute a treasure. Yeah, it's not surprising. Like, what's the need to play both there? It's literally mono black with snowlands. Like, I haven't been short really on cards all game. I know, like, the reflex is like, oh, I gotta get him dead, but it's not like I'm killing you immediately. There's just no reason to play out both of those. And I mean, really, in both cases, right, he sacked a treasure to get Hopeful Initiate out into a field of 2 toughness creatures. There's just no reason for that. Little bit of risk exposure with no 1 play and just a 2-lander, but we are not penalized this time. Bam. 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 Alright. That's pretty good. Pretty not bad. What do you take, Onyx or Despair? Probably Despair? It's a tough call. I mean, one argument is that Onyx is most expensive, so it just keeps her out of the game for longer, but I think Despair is probably good. Yeah, because I could have played her right now. I don't really want to soul transfer this. Yeah, so I think we just no cast, get the trigger off of Celestis, and get in for 4. We don't have an enchantment, so most likely we would pitch the soul transfer, but untapped land, or sorry, tapped land is the one thing we cannot take. Okay. Interesting, but alright.
Are you enraptured by...
I would have taken Celestis for sure. Notice that had you taken Celestis, Lolth is not out. Like, sure, it's a 3/3 instead of a 1/1, and I get for some reason that you're extra worried about keeping your Spellbinder alive, but that was not the play. Alright. Now we need a board wipe. That is not a board wipe.
My hatred lives.
Enters the battlefield. I don't really want to give him time to Deadly Dispute. It doesn't really look like a Deadly Dispute deck, but in the off chance, I don't think that it's worth not casting. And we will do it for the full 5 because it's an extra life. No attacks. get Lolth dead. It won't, because it was nighttime. Oh, we really need a ward wipe now. It doesn't look like it. One more dig.
Yes.
Look at
I
that.
know the knowledge you seek.
Yeah, no attacks actually. Because he blocks a Skyclave. We are not happy.
A gift
Watch out.
in exchange for loyalty.
It's an illusion. Nah, it's too late, dude. It is too late. Chain Invoke Despairs are going to be very bad for you unless you can follow this up with Duress.
Good minions are loyal and deadly.
Oh, you're going to come back for the Celestis you really should have gotten this whole time? Let's see. So we can't even play the Onyx. Alright, let's see if he blocks. It would be a big mistake if he blocks. For reasons that I couldn't articulate before, I'm just going to do it live.
I will cull the weak.
Good for you if you saw it. And all this just to allow Lolth to make bodies, but...
My power is for annihilation.
And back to the magic number. Both creatures out.
Subservience will be rewarded.
Yeah, that looks accurate. B-boy, cuz. Is it? Is it really? I choose to believe that it's not Mill. Or like Delver or something. Delver would have been lane 2. Yeah. Get the impulse, but if you don't have one next turn, it'd be more sad. You have a lot of cards in hand, though. We'll see. Nope, I don't agree with that. Because you just don't have nothing. Okay.
I bring order to this.
Kinda just want to keep plussing you. It worked out well the last time. It's not an ideal
Dire
land.
times call for dire
They don't,
tactics.
direct damage is the problem for them, so if you keep everything up, you know, like a Burn Down the House or was it Battle of Frost and Fire? Both of them hitting Planeswalkers too. I think versus it, there's no real reason. Like, I don't think you should minus the Sorin. Yeah, we do miss the damage a little bit. There isn't any pressure.
Your transgression has not gone unnoticed.
Okay.
You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
I guess we invoke. Not a great answer next turn if he does come in and dragon. It's the one problem, but maybe we'll find one. This could be wrong, but like, just playing a Ghast kind of feels like a bad turn. Did get Soul Transfer. So we would have something for a dragon. Interesting.
Without me, we're all doomed.
Yeah, so it's not that bad. Merchant. Ghast. Hold up. 2 mana. Yeah, okay. Also, like, you can't really bank on a Burn Down the House coming down as Devils. Like, that's atypical for a game, I would say. So I honestly think Meat Hook just playing it on 2, like, oh, that's lame. That's lame. Me says. Ugh. Can't get the Sorin back. It's quite lame. I mean, we could Soul Transfer into it, but that, well, could kill the guy and get Sorin back. So maybe this isn't bad. And it'd be bad if we played it. Well, you could theoretically Storm Giant. I think we play it this time and minus it. He's likely going to be dead next turn.
Out of my way.
Hopefully most of this guy's
You
resources
deal
are
with this annoyance.
come out versus turning into like a Hull Breaker with a bunch of answers behind it. Well, he's able to recharge. Guess reload a little bit. Any burn spell aside from Spikefield Hazard's not ideal. Interesting. What a hammer. Alright, Snowland would be good. I guess could be worse. Let's get you out.
Consider yourself fortunate our
And
motives
what?
lie.
Minus is bad. Moment doesn't want a board wipe anyway.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
I think, sadly, we need to be able to sack something versus getting it gassed out, which really would be nice. But we don't want to take excess damage to the face and let them draw a card. Maybe we're supposed to let that one die and be able to do that on Chef. Actually seems kind of likely. Because it would not have in fact done excess damage. But now he has a mascot in hand. And we really need to board wipe now.
Without me, we're all doomed.
That's pretty good. Ooh, he gets to ping with the Devils. And he doesn't go for Sorin. A little sketch. That is definitely a bit sketch. But I still think we want the Vampire. Which could be a misplay, but
I bring my own army.
I think we're gonna do you. Just in case the giant comes in. I don't particularly think the giant will come in. I'm hoping he just mascots. Oh, this guy's a beast. One to the bottom. So if you mascots, I'm probably gonna kill the 4/4, play the chef, sack the gas to kill the 2/1 flyer. 9 mana. Oh, that's brutal.
Darkness.
I still feel like I would have pinged the Sorin instead of my face, but knowing that he has that, because you could always have redirected that 2 damage to me. But guess it doesn't super matter. So we'll just play you. We'll bank that the next card off the top is not a counterspell. Let's see if he comes in with giant. It'd be nice if he did. Mostly just because I know what the turn looks like for the most part. Not like it's great for us, but you know, it is what it is. And I'd like to get the treasure off the gas so we can sack the reliquary. This card doesn't come up, and there's only a 1 of in the deck, but late game, I mean, 2 cards for 2 mana off a land's really not bad. Alright, so we get the giant. We're where does that leave us? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're one short of sacking both. Tricky, tricky. Alright, so that one's definite. Mr. Chef. Mr. Chef. I think we do block. Sack the ghast first. I think we're gonna save the damage. Sucks not knowing what the card is, but so gain a little bit. With 10 mana, we can actually, next turn, we can Wretched the Giant. I think we're going to take the card. Need to find something decent. That counts. That counts too. Though we are one short. Alright, so if we Lolth.
Darkness will swallow a gift in exchange
Actually, I think
for
we're gonna
loyalty.
hold that in. Then we could get the 4/4. Trade otherwise. Yeah, no reason to do this now, so just hold up Wretched Sorrow. Coming down to the wire. That's fine. For the face. For the face, he says. Okay, so definitely block there. We'll block here. That was pretty instant. If it gets countered, we'll be sad. But if we did it next turn, he has Jawari, and we don't get the land, it's gonna get countered, and I still lose all the mana, so we may as well just do it now. Since we're not forced, I'd rather hold this up. Alright. Damage swing.
And my will cannot be denied.
We'll see what he does. I mean, we can honestly get in with 2 Eye Tyrants next turn and make guys off of Lolth. That's not going to be enough. Alright. And we definitely get rid of Fate now. And let's see, Igneous. Igneous goes face. Or expressive, I guess. It likely doesn't matter, but we gotta be safe. Get up 2 blockers in case for some reason he's doubling giant damage. So we clear Fading Hope. Is all of his stuff sorcery speed? All sorcery speed removal. And he needs to double ping the 2 spiders with Spike Field Hazard. And that should make it game. Hell of a top deck, though. Let's see, I guess he could do the Igneous Inspiration, grab an Environmental Sciences to gain 2 life. Ooh, don't attack Field of Ruin. Oh, it's your greatest ally. In fact, Field of Ruin allows you to live through this turn. I don't know about this. Well, yeah, it's still the wrong, gotta be the wrong mana to tap. He has no cards in hand. Does he realize that all of his shit is sorcery speed except for Prismari Command? This is horrible Lear design. Like, why would you... Yeah, that's correct. But you have to do the same to the other one. And then I think you just die. I won't GG you, but I'm pretty convinced it's GG. And look at that. Had the mana left over for Field of Ruin, and he doesn't have it available. You go to 2 if you just keep Field of Ruin up. This was your mistake, Mr. B-Boy. B-Boy cuz. Cheers to you, my friend. You did not drink responsibly. Oh, I guess you can... No, you can't Prismari Command it because you're going to take an extra damage. Okay, so you need Fading Hope, but I don't think you have any cards in hand. I don't know why you're running purely sorcery speed with Lolth. I mean Lear. Alright, so 8 win streak since making the adjustments, so this is why I record intros at the end. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so I mean honestly, deck performed pretty well, obviously. 8 wins in a row, and Mythic numbers certainly ain't bad. I don't think at this point there's much I would change at all. I guess maybe theoretically a Celestis for Blood on the Snow, but the couple games we had Celestis, I mean, it helped us prevent, because we flooded super hard. We had 4 lands in hand, and we got like a few Celestis triggers, so we were able to filter those out. 1 Onyx did pretty well, honestly. 4 Invoke Despairs, I think, is really a must. I mean, literally just chaining. If you get 2 of those in a row, like, your hand's refilled. They've taken, somewhere between 4 and 10 damage. Lolth is really the beater in this deck, so there's really not much I would change. I think there's 26 lands. Alright. Well, good on me. I do think I like having the 1 in here, even though it's not a snow land, for Roadside Reliquary. It hits occasionally, as you saw with Soul Transfer. Occasionally we have both. Like, we got treasures, we got 5 enchantments, so deck's just super solid. It's mono black, and it's annoying that all these creators have claimed all the titles of mono black, or claimed the titles of all the decks that I play. CGB is obviously legendary blue-white mage, and Malone is master of mono black, but really those are the 2 archetypes that I've rocked for the last year or so. So we'll have to fight and earn our place in the nomenclature, but yeah, strong deck, can win at any level. Pretty straightforward also, but hope you enjoyed it. Go crush some nerds on ladder. Deuces!